Welcome to Africa Speaks of today. My name is Stephen Mulindwa, and I do hope, as usual, you're having a wonderful time, because in life, time is something sometimes we never get to get. Now, what have I got in today's program of Africa Speaks, of course? Since the beginning of the 21st century, Africa has been playing catch-up with the West as far as technology is concerned. Most of her resources have helped to develop the West, although with education, the gap is narrowing. It's still there, but it's narrowing. Now, the question now is, does Africa need renewable energy? That's the question we're asking ourselves. With the world already polluted with the Western industrialization, why is it this time? Why is it time to use renewable energy? Why wasn't renewable energy used back then? Of what value is it to the African continent? That's renewable energy, by the way. Most important of all, can we afford it? That's the key question. Can we afford it? With me in the studio is Mr. Edgar Georgestone, a chartered accountant, entrepreneur, renewable energy pioneer. Mark those words, pioneer. He's one of those people who was really going for renewable energy in Sierra Leone, where he comes from, and other parts of Africa. First and foremost, could you tell us about yourself?
Good afternoon,
yeah.
Steve.
Yeah,
and, thank you very
much.
Good
evening.
Good evening, of course. Thank you very much for having me in your show.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm Edgar Georgestone.
Yeah.
Born and bred Sierra Leonean.
Okay.
I studied in Sierra Leone. I started my schooling in Sierra Leone and then ended up finally finishing in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
I came at the time when it was easy to be here.
Yeah.
There was no struggle.
I know.
To
in those days,
yes.
yeah.
And I pursued my accountancy career, and in accountancy, I ended up having a association of Chartered Institute of Public Accounting. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And since then, I've been working in industry and commerce.
Yeah.
With different firms in the UK. Started off with Tactfield, Compark, Fireboard, and then at Mercury, I decided I should start it up my own practice.
Okay.
Funny enough, I met a gentleman. We came home one evening, and I went for a drink in the bar. I met this gentleman who was from Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not from Zimbabwe, actually. He was from Zambia.
Yeah.
And we started talking about accountancy and the discrimination in accountancy. And he says to me, oh, I'm having difficulties. I'm working in a practice. I'm doing all the work. And, you know, my colleagues are just sitting there playing computer games.
Yeah.
And then they have all the credit, but I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
I said, well, I can relate to you. I can see, you know, where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So why don't you set up an own accountancy practice? He says, oh, no, I don't think I could set up your accountancy practice. We don't have the money. Because we don't have the money. I've already started one. Yeah. He said, and what I have is not enough for two. So I thought, you know, I don't think I can take anybody on board. Yeah. I thought, I'm not asking for you to be on board. I think what we have here, the problem you're going through is a general phenomenon with many Africans coming to UK.
Yeah.
I say, you are fortunate to have a job in the first place.
Exactly.
And many people have not got the opportunity to have a job.
What you have,
because they have never had an experience in the United Kingdom. I said, but if at all you have, we have a practice and we can employ
a number of other people,
a number of other Africans, or it doesn't matter, foreign students. One, you're getting a good qualified personnel, and secondly, you're putting them in the job market, so that then it's a stepping stone, it's a bouncing stone for them to
go further.
Further, yes. So I said, okay, well, I'm not sure about that. Let's start with an association of black accountants. I said, okay. I went home, I thought about it. So I called him first thing in the morning. I said, Brian, I don't think that will work. I said, that's discrimination in itself.
Yeah.
Why setting up a association of black accountants? I said, I don't think that will work. I said, instead, let's have a practice which you can give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, I don't think I'll be party to it. He said, because what I have is not enough for me. I said, I'm not asking for you to be, you leave that to me. So I started working on it. I started on the name, started doing everything. But then I was in industry and commerce. I was working.
Yeah.
So facilities were okay with me.
Okay.
And I came back to him and I said, look, this is the name I thought of, Brian Stones and Partners. And he looked at it and said, lovely, I like it. So he incorporated the name in his practice. But however, we were working separately.
Okay.
I was doing my thing and he was doing his.
All right.
But
you were in the same...
Yes, we were in a sort of practice. Yeah. But by virtue of his own experience in the industry, he was supervising me, coaching me, starting me, how you start off, how you do, what you do, introducing a client, whatever. So that's how it took off.
Okay.
And I would say we've been blessed. I've been blessed.
Yeah.
Since then, he himself was shocked as to the way I progressed.
Yeah, over the years.
Over the years. Yeah.
Now, I want us to go to the renewable. I know that it's quite a lengthy one. If we are to go to the renewable energy, it's a subject which has been covered. We're having quite a lot of conferences. There was one in London, there was one in Paris. The Americans even pulled out, Donald Trump pulled out of, he doesn't believe in it. He wants to dig more oil. And Africa is caught up into it. Now, how do you see the whole setup of this renewable energy? Is it in our interest, really?
Renewable energy is in our interest, of course. Yeah. But I would not be complacent or say renewable energy is the ultimate.
Okay.
Because if you are to think about major industries, let's give, for example, a steel industry.
Yeah.
They need good amount of power. They need a good consumption of electricity, wattage, for you to smelt steel. Yeah. So therefore, with that in mind, I don't think solar energy can meet that demand.
Yeah, it's quite high,
yeah. But however, renewable energy can supplement the existing energy.
Okay. Yeah, it can.
Yeah, of course.
But when you look at what you need to get out, say for example, of the renewable energy, what you need to get out of wind power, what you need to get out of solar panels, is not really enough if it's to sustain a huge industry, big industries like housing, for example, like a steel industry. How much of that solar panels? You probably need 1 million solar panels to sustain that.
I don't think I'm not that technically knowledgeable to say precisely what sort of wattage you'll be looking at for a steel industry.
Yeah.
But however, whatever you can generate using renewable energy can be adequate to run the administration.
Really?
Of course, the administration, not the factory itself, but the office.
Okay.
The offices, whatever the offices use, all this equipment doesn't take much power. They're using direct current rather than, most of them are using all them transformers.
Yeah.
When you take into consideration using your televisions, the computers, and the robotic equipment, or whatever, they're using direct current. They're not using AC per se, direct on the equipment itself.
But
most of those powers have been transformed to direct current, to DC. So therefore, they don't need much power for generating office administration.
Okay. But the key thing is, if we're looking at the solar panels, for example, the expenses of solar panels, because everything comes down to the cost of it. If a country like Uganda or Kenya or even Sierra Leone, for that matter, is to import solar panels, if they were made in Africa and they're cheap to be made and they're bringing out, then it would have been easier. But you are looking at imported renewable energy that is going to cost us. You're looking, even if it's running battery cars, Even here, they're still struggling to get the battery cars sorted out. So you look at the continent with its structures and all that. Do you really think it can work in the next maybe 25 to 30, 40 years from now?
I started renewable energy in 1990.
Okay.
When one 35-watt panel, which is the size of this table.
Of this table, okay.
Not precisely, 35 watts.
Yeah.
Not exactly, it's half the size of this table.
Yeah.
Was about 600 pounds.
All right.
Yeah. Now we've come to an age where 35-watt panel, I will not even buy it for 10 pounds. So you can see how far we've gone.
Yeah, you can't buy it for 10 pounds.
For that amount of money,
yeah.
You're talking about 500 watts or more, 600 watts panel, which will be the size of this table.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost the same size, which was generating 35 watts.
Okay.
So technology has gone way off.
Okay, okay.
Right? They've been advanced, the technology had been advanced. Likewise, prices have dropped considerably.
All right.
And with time, I'm expecting the prices to come down further. What hasn't come down enough yet are the batteries.
Okay.
Because the batteries the energy has to be stored in a battery.
Yeah. Storage is
storing the electricity is what is costing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
And transforming the electricity from direct current to AC also is cheap. It's not that expensive. For an inverter now, domestic inverters are reasonably.
Okay.
Reasonable, you probably for average 5 to 10 kilowatts power.
Now, is there a way in which this energy could be made in Africa? These solar panels could be made in Africa? Because the point we're trying to see, which is the most difficult one, is getting the resources from us,
of course,
taking it abroad, doing it, and then reselling it back to us. You know, we're waking up. President Tory, I think his name is Tory, of Burkina Faso, has been chasing all this. He said, why should we buy these things from, you know, the resources? Why can't we make these things here?
If I knew what I knew now then, I probably would have bought a plant myself.
Yeah.
Producing solar panels.
Yeah.
Those were my ambition then. But unfortunately, the resources wasn't there.
At the time, it wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't there. And there are many plants available for producing solar energy. And why African government hasn't taken it up, I don't know.
Okay.
Not necessarily the government, individuals. There are many individuals who can take up the opportunity.
The amount of money involved, other than Dangote, for example, in Nigeria, doing what he's doing, but he's a billionaire who's earned his money over the years, and the money has been there. But most of the African billionaires wouldn't really look at it as, you know, because the expenses involved alone in doing most of this work is quite big. That's why it will fall back to the government, the interests of the government, to try and do it themselves.
Perhaps that's not Dangote's preference in making money. He's got his ambition set in other things. But if anyone should decide to manufacture solar energy, the opportunities are there.
Oh yeah, the opportunities are there, and I believe so many people are interested in that. But then at the same time, I'm also looking at African governments who are sometimes, most of the time, they don't look at things which are in their interest.
Well, that's
this thing will look like something which is in the interest of the African continent, but the people in authority are looking at them in a different area.
I agree with you 100%, because they are the ones who should be marketing it. They are the ones who should be promoting it. Take, for example, now individuals are buying solar energy.
Okay.
And it's more or less, in Africa, it's more or less individuals who
are interested.
Who are interested.
But
if the government should give them more incentive,
that's it. That's the word I was looking for. If
the government should give them incentive and said, okay, and before I go that far, right? Most of the people who have their own individual plants at home, domestic plants, generating 5 kilowatts or 10 kilowatts, most of them are not using half of it.
They're not using half of it. Why?
Because they have a 10 kilowatt plant doesn't mean you're using 10 kilowatts per se.
Okay.
During the afternoon, during the daytime, the plant is generating current.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in the daytime, you hardly have any lights on. They have the only thing that may be on constantly is the refrigeration.
Yeah.
And, and air condition if you do choose to have one.
Yeah.
Which I do not encourage people to have AC running on your solar because it consumes a lot of power.
Yeah.
Therefore, during the day, the battery has been fully charged, and what are you doing with the excess energy? It's just wasted.
Because there's no storage there. There's no storage there.
Your capacity is only 10 kilowatts.
Yeah.
And you've generated over 10 kilowatts. You're not consuming it.
Yeah, you're not consuming it.
So therefore,
where is it going to go?
It's like filling a cup with water. It's reached the brim, and you just continue pouring.
It just goes.
You just spill. So therefore, if the government wants to encourage customers to participate more in the program, they could give them an incentive that your excess energy can be bought.
Yeah.
So if the government is buying excess energy, which means that will give individual incentives. So okay, if I generate 20 kilowatts, I can sell 10, I use 10.
Now, maybe the biggest problem we have is education. Do we need to pass this education on to schools so that we get to understand why we need it? Because at the moment when I look at it, when I watch the arguments which were going on during these summits, especially there's one in Paris a couple of years ago, which I almost attended, and then there's one which took place in Dubai as well, and it was connected to that. And the arguments were there that to such an extent that Arab countries or even Western countries are buying what is meant to be each one, which is donated to everybody, so that we don't really have to cut trees and all that kind of stuff. But then they are not willing to give us the money to put more plants, panels or solar panels, or to put more wind turbines in Africa. They're not willing to do that. They want to sell them to us, but at the same time they don't want us to cut trees, because their interest is to preserve the forests and all that. But then at the same time they don't want to spend money. Brazil, they had to pay Brazil a lot of money to keep the rainforest okay. But what I'm saying is that when you're looking at all that and the technology involved, the structure still is that we are not educated enough to look at our interests as well. They are looking at their interests more than we look at our interests. And China and America are not willing to budge, yet they are the biggest polluters.
It's us who have to take the initiative, meaning that our governments are the ones who should take the initiative.
Yeah.
I think we best know ourselves better. And
but how do we put dedication back in? I mean, people like you have been here, have been involved into it, you're a pioneer into it. How do you put that into schools, into educating?
That's the same way. It has to be in the curriculum.
Yeah.
It has to be in the curriculum. In the early days, in the 70s, when I was growing up, there were different schools in Sierra Leone, which identify the end results, so to speak, that there are schools which, specialize in science subjects. So in your third year in secondary school, you're almost aligned
with what you
in that direction that you are going through the science field. And there were schools which were sort of like in the vocational education. In those days, even accountancy was considered vocational education.
Really?
Yes. It's then, therefore, similarly, solar energy or renewable energy should be put in the program. When you were going to school, you did arts.
Of course,
You did woodwork.
You
did metalwork.
Metalwork,
So why don't we have a renewable energy class?
We could. But again, this is where it comes back. It's maybe the people who are supposed to be preaching about this education are not the
people
doing it.
It's us.
Yeah.
Okay. So, take for example, in some countries they have a Renewable Energy Association. Which sort of like become a mediator between the users and the government.
Okay.
But in most cases, their hands are tied.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Their hands are tied. Yeah.
Their hands are tied. And what did they leave of the remnants of loans or grants from overseas?
Yeah.
And what can they do with it?
Nothing.
The so-called installers, solar installers, are not regulated in most places, in most countries. So therefore, one of the things they should be doing is to regulate the installers. So you don't have cowboys doing solar, installing something that I have in my years. In my years, I've witnessed people installing solar, which wasn't off. And with a big rain and lightning, sort of like damaged the whole structure.
The whole thing,
Everything burnt.
Lack of knowledge,
So
now,
therefore,
partnership with the African organizations. I mean, when you were here, there was, I was seeing part of what you were doing years ago. There was a lot of partnerships with the Princess Trust and all the other organizations there, because you're in the same field. Can this partnership work in Africa?
My association with partnership with Princess Trust, let me put it right. My association with the Princess Youth Business Trust was I was a counselor and a business advisor.
Okay.
So therefore, I was coaching them to start their business. In doing so, if they were under the age of 21, I think, because for the youths, if they were under the age of 21,
Trust is 21,
then they can be qualified for the Princess Youth Business Trust grant or loan, with the completion of a successful business plan. So therefore, the business plan has to come in. They have to think seriously of what they want to do and to see that it's feasible before they can be qualified for that loan.
For the grant,
Yes. So therefore, that was why I was coaching them and putting them in line with that, vocation. Also, I worked with Barnett Enterprise, which were doing similar things. They were administrating the enterprise grant, enterprise business grant.
Okay. Yeah, there are a couple of those business grants. There are a couple of them from the countries.
That was in the 80s, in the 80s, where they were given a certain amount of money to start their businesses. So, partnership with Princess Youth Business Trust could be ideal, but not
the question is in
feasible for Africa.
Why not feasible for
because
Africa?
Because there's no, of course, no. Let me correct that. Perhaps it's a different context. Now, yes, it's feasible for Africa because there are many youths. There are many youths, of course, yes, because it's for the youths. If we can have a similar organization, of course, yes, there are many youth with talents in Africa. But they cannot progress. I'll give you an example. When I came to England in the 80s, early 80s, there was a shop called Tandy. I don't know if you know of Tandy.
Tandy. What was it selling?
They were selling electrical gadgets. All these electrical components. And then after Tandy, they changed the name from Tandy to...
It was bought over. I think it
was bought over, yes.
Yeah, somebody bought it and they changed the name
what was it changed to?
I can't remember the name.
Tandy, I'll tell you in a minute. But it's in the head. I can't just get it in my lips. Now, I admire that shop because whenever I got at that age, when I was here in my early 20s, I was into gadgets. I was thinking of building my own things, making my own things. I can make whatever from. I've never been an electrician. But I try to figure out something, to build something, to make something out of how things work. So therefore, there are many kids in Africa with similar talent who can do with shops like that.
But the question is, the biggest problem has always been the partnership. Now, you've worked with the African organizations in Sierra Leone, and you've also worked with organizations here. You are the right person to tell us the similarities and why the ones in Africa, partnership in Africa can't work, and yet the partnership here can work. And don't tell me it's money.
That's the primary objective.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, corruption.
Yeah, corruption. Okay, yeah, I can agree with you there. I can agree with you there, yeah.
The thing is, which is sometimes difficult to talk about because you know the reality and you know the truth.
Yeah.
It's the pay structure, for example, is quite different to United Kingdom.
Yeah.
You're not going to be paying somebody $20 a month.
Yeah.
And he has to do a project costing millions of pounds or dollars or whatever currency. Yeah. So therefore, the sensitization
and when they see it, when it comes together, they look at it and they think, hang on a minute, if we come together, we'll get 200 million, but we could easily get the millions ourselves.
The moment they see the money, all they're thinking, if my salary, I can improve my salary, I can improve my life.
Yeah, yeah. That's what
they're not focusing on what they ought to be doing.
Yeah, yeah. It's a me kind of situation.
It's a me kind of thing, and that's how the government himself work. They preach of anti-corruption, but they themselves are corrupted in their own ways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can't get rid of that.
So you can't get rid of that. It's anti-corruption, but they're administrating anti-corruption, but then themselves they're practicing nepotism.
Yeah. They're practicing nepotism. Yeah, yeah. It's quite on a big scale.
But that's not Africa alone. It's here as well.
Yeah, but the level here is different.
It's different. What we're talking about here, we're looking about Epstein and whatever. So it's a similar case.
I get your point.
It's a similar case. The corruption is there, but in a different level, as you put it.
Yeah,
a different level in Africa.
The approach is different. Yeah,
different level.
Education on accounts. I look at accounts in Africa when you. Worked as an accountant there in Africa as well, and there are many accountants in Africa, and you're looking at the various emphasis, but education and accounts. I even asked Maulai Kago when he was here, and he was saying, look, if he had his own way, all the schools will be teaching accounts because it's a subject which is rarely taught in schools. We are taught mathematics, we are told to be engineers, lawyers, and so on, but we are not told to be accountants, to be in a way that we can calculate our own books, and maybe that is where we are going wrong. In your work in Sierra Leone, has this thing ever come up that we need more accountants in Sierra Leone?
I will not say yes to that.
Yeah.
Because there are many accountants
in Sierra Leone.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I've left Sierra Leone for quite a while.
Yeah.
But I want to believe there are quite a lot of accountancies.
Yeah.
There are quite a lot of accountants and
but
quite a lot of accountancy practices.
Is it part of the curriculum in Sierra Leone?
I believe so.
You believe so?
Yeah, the university, they study accountancy in the universities.
Okay.
But probably in the 70s, even here, it was mostly private colleges that were in accountancy.
Yeah. Yeah, because even here now, other than in India, in India, for example, okay, India is different, but there is a big. Everybody's supposed to know something about accounts. It's practically embodied in their curriculum. Even a child of 10, 20, 15 years. Because I was talking to one Indian guy, and he was telling me, if you're an Indian and you can't do mathematics, or you can't do, then you're in trouble. Because everybody is taught that from the age of 10, and I think there's a continuation up to 16 or 17. So most of Indians, that's why they have a lot of mathematicians, a lot of scientists, the pharmacists and all that, because of the nature of their educational structure, which Africa hasn't taken up.
I don't think so. Africa has taken it. The fundamental principle in accounting, or the fundamental subject in accountancy, is mathematics.
Yes,
I don't dispute that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the other subject which you have to consider, which goes hand in hand with accountancy, you have law, statistics, economics.
Yeah.
And if you want to specialize in petroleum, then it's better for you to know about petroleum. Then you'll be a better accountant if you understand petroleum. If you want to be an accountant in pharmaceutical, if you have an understanding of pharmaceutical, it gives you even better understanding. You see, gone are the days when...
So it doesn't become a general thing. You have to
That's the reason why you have cost accountants.
Yeah.
And cost accountants are mainly for industry and commerce.
Right.
So therefore, Then you have financial accountants.
Yeah, yeah. Financial accountants, yeah.
Yeah. The cost accountant is mainly focused on your factory work, how you can equate, working out your gross domestic product, your break-even points, assisting in your wages, costing each and every folder, or each and every product you produce.
Yeah. The costing comes in, AI has come. It's another thing that is worried. We've been discussing it a couple of times here on the show. AI is here. Could it damage the industry of accounts as it is, especially in Africa?
AI is another tool. Just the same time when computer started, when computer evolved, when computerization came into play, into perspective, we had the slogan then, which was garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't know what you're putting in, then you will not know what you're putting out.
Yeah.
So therefore, quite a lot of people are going with the AI. Even you can tell certain times when individuals use AI because the context isn't there. Although yes.
Yeah.
The context isn't there. Their style of writing isn't there. And AI is not only on writing letters or writing text, it's also on on engineering.
Yeah.
It goes well with engineering, but you have to know what you're doing. If it's telling you about cosines and you haven't done mathematics, how would you interpret it? If you're talking about a plan, and he's telling you about the square footage,
you need to know that.
The perimeter, or whatever. And if you haven't done or you haven't got a knowledge on that, how would you interpret it? So you have to get some basic understanding.
Training of the understanding.
And when you have the understanding, then AI is a tool.
Okay.
Of course, it's a tool which everybody would like to work with, if you know how to do it, how to use it.
But then again, when you're looking at it in a sense that if I'll be using it where I'll be giving somebody a job to do some work for me regarding that, I could end up saying, why should I give that person a job when I can go on AI and find the information I want? It's just going on a computer now and Google something.
That's automation. That's automation. Of course, yes, all costing involved is to reduce cost.
Okay.
Right? You will reduce cost, but you will not do it without human intervention.
The human resource has to be there somewhere.
Of course, yes. So, come back to your point about the AI. AI is a very good tool which I think is changing the world. But we have to get a specific knowledge of how to use it. Like the advertisement says, AI is not Google.
No,
like you Google something. More to Google.
The women accounts. It's been another issue that has been quite happening. The women accountants, we don't really have a lot. I jumped in straight away.
Women accountants?
There's so many women. There are so few women accountants, especially in the African continent. I was going through a bit of my research, and I was told, said, look, there are more male accountants, even here in the UK. When you go to the level, you're going to find the female. You break it down to there are more Indians into accounts, women Indians into accounts, and maybe British women as well, but few black women within the accounts, or even African women. And even on the continent itself, there are more male accountants than female accountants. And that thing, I even asked Molai about the same thing. I said, look, is there something which is not getting right, which you are not getting right?
The only thing I can say to that is that the female, I think there are equal proportion of male and female accountants. But with the female aspect of accountancy, they study accountancy, but they never continue with accountancy because of childbirth or whatever.
Halfway down the line, they move on.
They move on because they're running a family.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so therefore they step out. But I think it's the same. There's nothing specific about accountancy for men and accountancy for women. It's the same process, it's the same training, it's everything. But at the same time, men stay longer in businesses or in employment than women, because men work until they retire. Women will stop because of family reasons.
Family commitment.
For family commitment, exactly.
Yeah. But then again, the more you have...
I think women make far better accountants than men, I think.
They do?
I think so. Because they stick to principles. I think women are more grounded. Women are more grounded. They're much more disciplined. They're much more disciplined.
They should be here. They should be here to hear you. So we should employ more women into offices in Africa.
I honestly believe that women are much more disciplined than men.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not talking about the other aspects of life.
No. What I'm looking at is that Africans, or rather people hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, and I would add to that.
They could end up employing more women than men.
I would add to that. When we started, when the moment Africa started having more female presidents, of more female leadership, right? I think we're going to see changes. I think so.
No, but some of them have turned out to be worse.
Some women have a narrow vision. They see things in one direction. We tend to be doing multitasking, and then we good at nothing.
Okay. No, what makes me laugh is that we've discussed this thing we've discussed this a number of times, and we've said, look, okay, Sudan, I think, and somewhere, I think Sudan and one other countries, I don't know whether it was Mali or they tried, or Egypt, they did an experiment and they tried to put more women into certain positions, and then they realized, okay, men do better in the army, men do better, women do better in hospitals, women do, I mean, even Israel, they were categorizing and saying, we can't have women on the front line, but we can have them as doctors and engineers or somewhere. But the shift is always, can we pick the best of what they can do? Now, as you're saying about accountancy, I agree with to a point that, okay, they get married and then obviously they take care of the children, and in the end, the professional, maybe they give up work to look after the family. But then at the same time, if their numbers are there, if so we have 100 or you have 1 million women accountants, even if the other small half goes away for a family, you still have a number left. Because the thing is, it all comes down, if the others go, there's no proper replacement.
Having you think that,
the
only way I think men do have an advantage is because men are diversified. They have an experience in more industrial activities, in engineering, carpentry. Most those jobs were dominated by men in the past. So therefore they have a natural affinity to those kind of jobs. So therefore they can relate more than they relate
more to them. I see your
point.
But
the woman has that knowledge which the man has. I think the women will be much more focused on it. They will
now,
be much more.
you've worked in Africa for quite a long time, and we've discussed this thing a number of times.
I didn't work long in Africa, though.
You didn't work long there?
I think about 5 years or so in Africa. But at the same time, yes, I understood. Go ahead.
But the point of remittance that we send to Africa, and I was looking at Sierra Leone and I was looking at Ghana, and we're talking about billions, over 10 billion sent to Africa over the years. And the issue of, they've transformed the economies of Africa. But the thing is that we don't have much a bigger say in what goes on in these countries. Now, I think there was an article about Sierra Leone where I think the president at the time, I can't remember which president, was talking about giving a voice to Sierra Leoneans who are abroad to be part of the impact of what goes on into the country. So they have their input in, says, if we have 20 million, can we spend this money here? Can we spend this money here? If they can have an input in terms of what's going on within the governments back in Africa. So I just need your opinion on that. Could the African countries adapt this kind of...
I feel the diasporans hold the economy of Africa.
Yeah.
Because without us sponsoring our family, I don't think they will ever exist.
Yeah. But can we have a say? That's the key thing. Can we have a say in what goes on, especially in terms of
let's look into it step by step.
Yeah.
Let's take it step by step.
Yeah.
Let's look into it. Now, individually, we sponsor our families back home.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
In terms of building the economy, in terms of building houses, looking after their siblings and whatever and family members who are sick, sending them money for medicines. All these are done by the diasporans.
Of course, yeah.
So therefore, we ought to have a say. But how could we do that when we are so segregated? We are all doing it individually.
All right, yeah. But we have organizations here. There are a number of African organizations of,
which of the organizations?
The Sierra Leone diaspora group, I think, which is, in fact, somebody sent me something on it, which is to do with but most of it is to do with the news about Sierra Leone rather than the news about what money can be sent. But there are several organizations from there. Even Ugandans have got couple, Ghanas have got couple. There are quite so many of them.
There are organizations, but then they do lobby.
Yeah.
Yes, the organizations, they got more ethos when they start lobbying.
Yeah.
But most of them are not focused well enough to tackle those institutions like the government, meeting them and sort of like, this is what we want. Yeah. Because there's no comeback. There's no
the question may be, somebody was telling me that regardless of what we do, a Kenyan friend told me that it's difficult for them to listen to us.
Because what I was saying is that there is no comeback in the sense that if we're going to lobby and we say, well, we're going to hold our votes, what's the vote? What votes have we got? What can you hold? What's the stick? If you said the carrot and the stick, what's the stick?
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah.
You can't. There's nothing else there for them. For you to say, well, if you don't do what we are asking, we're going to hold our votes. The organization is only about 30, 40, 50 people.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you getting my point?
I get your point. But the question of saying, okay, we need your opinion on this before we do it. We need your opinion on this. Can we have your opinion on this before we do anything? That coming from the government. Practically feels like it's a kind of lobbying, because when Kenyans had these riots during the Jay-Z, I think the Jay-Z generation, the youth, there was a lot of there's a lot of demonstrations at the time because of what the president had done, and Nairobi was practically almost destroyed. So there was a lot going on. Now the president started something whereby he says, okay, I'm going to have a ministry. They had the Minister of Youth, they had the youth there, but then he says, look, I'm going to start listening to whichever thoughts everybody's bringing out, even if it's from the diaspora. Now voices went in, and William Ruto, the president, started compiling information on what should be done with the youth and so on. But the irony about the whole thing is that the people who put in too much voice in Kenya were from UK, from America, other parts of the world. They were the ones who were saying, hey, we've lived in the country, we've left, now we're here, but we have an input of this ABCD. That's the kind of thing I'm saying. Look, now William Ruto, the president of Kenya, starts to listen. He's listening to the voices. He even created, I don't know whether it's an email or something, he created something whereby the voices are going through. And I wish all African presidents could do something similar.
Most African presidents, most African leaders don't have the confidence. If they have objection to certain things, then they think they are opposition, the member of the opposition.
Okay.
So therefore, people who ought to be coming forward are laid back because they don't want to be labeled as opposition and denied what they ought to have got.
In other words, the national interest is always going to be something very difficult to deal with.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So therefore you find people are reserved and not coming forward with their point. But yes, that's why we should be in a stronger point to be advocating. We should be in a better position. We had a system in Sierra Leone where, because in Freetown area, those areas were dedicated to the freed slaves.
Yeah.
Like
I've read about the
Creoles.
history of Sierra Leone.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Creoles, you find most of the Creoles are the ones with English names or English Nigerian names because of the influence.
Yeah.
And even the language we speak is Creole, which is patois, is broken English and fused with other indigenous
local languages.
Exactly. So therefore, and now because you find out that most of the people is the national language.
Yeah.
Everybody will speak Creole for you to have an understanding of a medium of exchange, medium of conversation. Now, it so happened that most of these Freetown area, we have when there was an uproar, well, like the time they had the rebel war, quite a lot of them fled, leaving their properties, and going back, they find out that they're having now trespassers.
Okay, the property have already been taken.
Some of them have occupied the properties, and also, and you find out that because those properties were there, they were theirs. They were not so much documented.
Okay.
The property, most of them were not properly documented. But everybody respects the boundaries. They know that that's Stephen's property.
It starts from here to there,
From there to there, which is demarcated by a tree, a mango tree, or a bush.
It's an old system that used to work.
It's an old system. Right? So there we had also another organization which rises offspring in the UK and in America called the Creole Traditional Creole Organization, Creole Cultural Association or whatever, Those were lobbying, they sort of lobbying because we find ourselves in a position where these properties were being occupied by the people from the protectorates. And who come down to the city and think, well, of course, yes, these properties are there, we can own them. Without going the legal way. They were not sold, it's more or less theft. And they will come and falsify documents and falsify everything. And in some area, I would say, it seems to have been purported by the government.
Oh, really? Oh, God. How did everything end now? Did they give their properties back?
My take was these associations should be the ones lobbying, and because this is what we stand for. They did actually. I will not say they did, because I went to one of the meetings which they were engaged with the president. But it doesn't hold. Most of the time it goes to the court. It's all of these people having land issues.
It's common everywhere, especially when it comes to land.
So when you talk about lobbying and then the respondents are supposed to be having like voting rights. So sort of say, okay, well, if you don't do this, we're not going to vote for you next time.
The money,
but when you look at the mass, look at the quantity of people, the amount of people who are involved in the association is just a handful.
Okay. I think with Sierra Leone, I think it's the numbers. We have the numbers in Uganda, and I think Nigeria has the numbers abroad, and South Africa. I think the numbers also have to count, because if you have members of over, say, for example, 10,000 members or something like that, that is a huge voice. If you have 1 million people abroad,
the Creoles in Sierra Leone are the minority.
They're
the minority. They're hardly there. They only surface in the Freetown area. And don't forget, the Creoles were not in. I don't know whether that law has been changed, but we were not entitled to buy
anything beyond
land beyond in the protected.
And now they're being easily squeezed.
That's right.
Easily squeezed. Now, the Chinese, I've always asked this question. They're coming in. They're putting their foot on Africa.
I love Chinese.
You love them.
I love them because they got a determination. They have the drive. They have the determination. And the thing is to work with them.
But do you see the determination is there? Now, there are issues about them in Malawi. There are issues about them even in Zimbabwe as we speak. And the issues in Mozambique as well. And there have been a number of cases in Kenya. And I think Rwanda even deported a couple of them. Kenya also put 2 or 3 in prison because of the way the operations were. In a sense that the way they came in, they have gone for the local industries. They have gone for where the local people are. They're brought in a lot in terms of trying to develop where they are. But the problem is that when a native is selling the same thing and you're selling the same thing, and a native can't compete with you, this is the problem that they had in Malawi.
The problem with Africa is we're not pragmatic. We are not we're not patriarchs.
Okay.
We don't love ourselves.
Why don't we love ourselves? I think we do.
Country, I believe
we do love ourselves.
No, because if you love yourself, I think you do something better for yourself.
Yeah, of course.
The thing is, we're not cooperative. We cannot do business with ourselves.
Yeah.
We get. Come on, I don't want to go down that example. I know
what you're saying.
Yeah, but at the same time, listen, let me just finish this, right? Every country has got the laws and orders.
Of course.
They've got the laws that govern the country. So if your leader don't sell you, then who is the Chinese man to come in and take things?
Okay, yeah, I see your point. I see what you're saying, yeah.
Because the law is there.
Yeah.
If you put a law that, okay, if you're starting up a business, you have to get 49%, 51% for the inhabitant, who is going to dominate?
Yeah, I get your point. So it goes back to the leadership now.
It's leadership.
It goes back
it's leadership.
Yeah.
Because you have to put your law and order. If you leave the door open, everybody will come.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everybody would jump in.
Why don't we go to Saudi Arabia and just go flood the place?
Yeah.
The Chinese know Saudi exists. It's a lovely place for business. There's a lot of business can go there. A lot of business can thrive there. The Chinese can do well in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But are they there?
No, they're not there.
Why?
Not there.
Because of the law and order.
The system won't.
The system will allow them.
Won't allow them. Yeah.
But they do fantastic products.
Yeah.
They're lovely people to work with.
Yeah.
But you have to play your cards right. You have to put your house in order.
Yeah. Okay, that is something that I need to put at least to the African politicians, because you're 100% right in terms of saying you put the law there. If you're a citizen, because I attended a seminar, a Tanzanian seminar last year, and it was involving investment in Tanzania. And I think one of the gentlemen who was leading the seminar gave a lecture, and he was saying, look, okay, when you're coming to invest in Tanzania, we got come in, but we'll let you know exactly what we want you to invest in, because at the end of the day, we protect so much our local industries. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to come in and you are also going to open a business shop somewhere, and you're going to be selling products which are already existing in Tanzania, unless we give you an area which is different from where they might, but you have to come in and we give you what we want you to invest in.
Exactly.
Well, you may come with what you want to invest, but if we see that what you want to invest in is going to affect the local economy, then we'd rather you don't come in.
The thing is, it's not only Chinese businesses. Africa have left themselves so loose that you have the Lebanese, you have the Asians, you have the these, the all there.
Lebanese in Nigeria,
They set up their businesses. They have 100%. It's their interest. I'm not saying they should not have their own business enterprise, but you have to regulate it in a way whereas you have your people priority, give them priority, right? Because these guys will employ a laborer for God's sake. And they abuse them.
Exactly.
They treat them like dogs.
Yeah. It's I've been reading about that in South Africa. They did that quite a lot in South Africa. But
what protection have you give to your own?
Yeah.
So you have the workers have to be saying, well, I'm fortunate to have got a job. So you can use me whichever way you want. That's what you're giving them, an open plan, an open book. Do what you want because you have a business. Because when it comes to the law and order, it's hardly there. They all take corruptions.
They know where the weaknesses are.
Of course, the weakness is there already. Yeah. They take corruption. So the entrepreneur has got the money.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, because when you take your case to the police, he says, I haven't got a pen.
Yeah.
I haven't got a paper.
Yeah.
And the man can come with his own pen and paper.
Yeah, yeah.
And say, well, look, I have a pen and paper here.
Yeah, yeah.
You use it. This is my case.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other guy hasn't got a leg to stand on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It goes back to corruption anyway.
It's
it goes
corruption.
Back to corruption, because if we don't take the interest, as we are saying, then we have a problem. We have a problem.
We have to put our house in order.
Yeah, yeah.
African countries are not being put in order. Gone are the days when we were under the British.
Yeah.
We're reliant on the British. We buy British cars. Yeah. We buy British this. Yeah. Even in England, they don't manufacture cars anymore.
Yeah, yeah. They're still there, but they're
there, but they don't. They've been bought over. They've been bought over by the Chinese. Yeah. Right? When I was manufacturing wind turbine, back to wind turbine. Yeah. When I was manufacturing a wind turbine, I had a guy come from China.
Yeah.
With the interest of buying our products. And I was there trying to sell everything. They bought only about 5 or so of our products.
Only about 5?
Only 5. And next, they're producing it in China.
Yeah.
So all you wanted is to get the trademark, to get the sample, so that they can see what goes on.
Yeah. They've done that with medicine as well.
Everything.
Yeah, with medicine.
With everything.
Yeah.
But one of the things which Africa also fail, right? Chinese products are good. Yeah. The ones, even the switches here, the televisions you have are made in China.
Yeah.
But before coming into England, they are regulated.
Yeah.
They have to be of certain standard.
Yeah.
They go to trading standards.
In fact, European standards.
The European standards. You have to be of so much. You have to be the brightness have to be certain. The noise have to be a certain decibel. Everything is being programmed, and they go by it. Yeah. If it's not compliant,
they won't allow them in.
They're not allowed.
Yeah.
So therefore, have we got that in Africa?
We don't.
So when we start having those things, then we will have a proper decent. Most of the fires that take effect in Africa probably are caused by these electrical appliances.
Electrical appliances, which are not,
because they're not regulated.
Yeah. That's your point. Wow. There's a lot
for Africa to be considering. For us, we have a lot. We haven't even started yet. But the unfortunate thing is a beautiful place to be in.
Of course. We wouldn't be here, most of us.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why every country treated us like shit.
Yeah.
Excuse my French.
Yeah. Because of ourselves. Yeah.
Because we're not together. We're not holding ourselves. We stand for nothing.
Yeah.
It's sad to say that, but that's the reality.
That's the reality. When it comes to renewable energy, we've mentioned this, and I'm looking at renewable energy again. And if you look at the future of Africa in terms of that, because still some countries are saying, okay, the West owes us more money in terms of if we are going to put a foot down and use renewable energy, we need more money to come from the West to use that. Do we really need to put that as one of the stands that we need to put there as one of the conditions?
If they say they need money, yes, we do need money, but where it comes from, I don't know. We cannot be dwelling in the past and say it has to come from because we were slaves, we were this, we were that, and we've gone how many years? We've gone down that road. We've passed that stage now. I think we have to learn to respect ourselves.
Yeah.
We learn to go on. You see, we are a race that has been deprived.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we have been robbed off in so many ways. So much so that even the financial institution do not respect us.
Of course it doesn't.
I will give you an example. I was studying, got my house, and we were to buy another house.
Yeah.
And I did a business plan as to what I'm going to do with the old house.
Yeah.
We're going to, because my mom was staying with me and she's a retired head teacher.
Okay.
I thought, well, if I have that house, I can become having a nursery, because we were having difficulty with bringing our child up.
Yeah.
nursery-wise, taking us to school.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, if we should have my mom, because she used to run that
the
school.
teacher, yeah.
She was a teacher, and she used to run a nursery school since she retired.
Yeah.
If I can get her to do those things, we can help other parents to bring their children in.
Yeah.
And I worked it out. Everything was fantastic, profitable business.
Yeah.
The house has got a backyard of free altercation.
Where children can go and play,
but yes, but then I needed some finance. I went to the bank. And when I went there, because the disadvantage that we have here, my name is Edgar Georgestone, it's so English.
Yeah.
And when they see the documentation, Edgar Georgestone, they thought perhaps it might be an English man or something.
Yeah.
And when you get there in person, it's a different thing. The attitude changes.
Yeah.
The attitude towards you completely changed. The conversation you had on the phone and seeing you in person.
Yeah, are two different things. Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah.
So that says it all.
I've seen it a lot when people go for interviews as well.
Everything. I will not talk about that here. No.
If everything is going to be fine, blah blah, then you turn up for the interview.
Yes.
And then don't call us, we'll call you.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yes.
Yeah. So it turns to that.
We have been deprived a lot.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's got a psychological impact in us. So therefore, we don't even think, we think negative about whatever we want to do. Oh, it's not going to be possible.
Okay.
I'm not going to get it. So why bother?
There's the negative part of it that comes
That's
in.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're coming towards the end of the program, and I wanted to find out if you're looking at the renewable energy for the future of the continent. Where do you place it? Is it going to be placed in terms that it has to be made on the continent for it to succeed, or it has to, because the way it's going now, seriously, I don't think it will succeed unless we make it there with the resources that we have.
The thing is, renewable energy is getting cheaper as we digress earlier.
Yeah.
And it can be made in Africa.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to drive the price down, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's made in China predominantly.
Okay, of course, by now.
The quality for the product made in China and the ones made in Europe, there's a variance. I think the ones made in Europe, probably by virtue of the experience and their technology know-how, and the ones made in China, the quality of equipment, there's a variation. It's not that much, but at the same time, if you have standards, quality standards, you can bring that up. So it might be cheaper to have it from China, but regulated, or you can manufacture in Africa.
Well, yeah, because that's what Ethiopia.
If you manufacture in Africa, be sure that you're creating employment, you're creating the know-how. So therefore, everybody, you give them that sense of belonging.
There's a big benefit from everybody.
Right. But at the end of the day, regardless of wherever it's made, if it's a DC AC solar panel, if the panel is 40 watts, it's 40 watts.
Yeah.
And those things have a lifestyle of over 25 years.
Okay.
My solar panels, I normally give people warranty of a 20-year warranty, but they can go on for over 25 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And in some cases, in fact, I have some ex-demo solar panels, which I do sell to Africa. Some of those ones taken in the project, in the European project. I do have them. I can have them at reasonable prices, decommissioned prices, and they have a lifespan of another 25 years.
Are they?
What is not having? What we fail to realize is not just the panels, not just the solar panel. It's where to store the current, where to store the energy.
Okay.
The batteries are the things which you cannot recondition. The batteries have a lifestyle of about 6 years, 5 to 6 years. Or probably, if well maintained, it can go up to 10 years.
All right. Okay.
And that's the most expensive. That's the most expensive element on generating solar energy.
Okay.
The batteries. There's some design which you can power. Like take for example, if you're running a factory or a farm, and you need irrigation for irrigation purposes.
Yeah.
Right? You water the plants during the day, so therefore it's sunny.
Yeah.
And you don't need the battery. So direct from the sun to the panel.
Yeah.
You transform the energy into with an inverter, and straight away you can go to propelling the
plants,
pump. Yeah. And you can water your plants and keep it going. But immediately the sun goes down, it will stop.
Yeah.
But with the battery, it gives you the ability or the opportunity to carry on. It doesn't matter whether the sun has gone down or not. You will still continue watering your plants, which we do need it for our house, for domestic purposes, because we need electricity only in the night season, mainly in the night season, to see where you're going.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the things I detest, or which I would say, is to run solar energy in the urban areas.
Yeah.
In a city,
it could be too expensive.
It's not expensive. Forget about the expense. It's not expensive. And here we have, take for example, solar street lights. I will not use solar street lights for any city.
Why?
The city needs to be bright. It needs to be vibrant.
Yeah, yeah.
The cars, are so many cars, you need to see where you're going.
Yeah, yeah.
In a rural area, having a solar street light, yes, it runs good purpose because there's hardly anything there, but at least you can see where you're going.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like deterred thieves and all the rest of it, whatever. Yeah. But in a city, what are you doing with a solar street light? It's very demoralizing, very degrading.
Listen, I think we need. I've got to say that it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and I look forward to more of you at some point in the future.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Does that mean it was saved by the bell? I'm so sorry.
I just want to say thank you very much for viewing us, and I look forward to another edition of Africa Speaks. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Saved by the bell.